At the end of the 2025-26 school year, Cleveland's Collinwood High School is scheduled to close its doors for the last time. When the school first opened in the early 1900s, American public education relied on a philosophy of socioeconomic tracking. Schools used standardized testing and family background to split students into two tracks: university or factory. A young man's destiny was predetermined by wealth. If your father worked the rails, you were trained to do the same, with almost no opportunity to cross over. In 1907, Collinwood High School was founded as a specific, radical rejection of that stratified model. Before the physical structure is consolidated with neighboring Glenville High, we have to look at the results of Frank Whitney's experiment, an attempt to force two different socioeconomic worlds to learn as equals. The school was built for a neighborhood that grew out of a railroad stop. By 1874, this area was where incoming steam engines were switched before they were allowed to enter downtown Cleveland. That rail yard eventually expanded to accommodate hundreds of trains and thousands of workers, creating a thriving manufacturing hub where residency was tied directly to industrial labor. Principal Frank P. Whitney realized that the sons of these railroaders were being isolated from the college-bound boys in the rest of the city. Whitney's cosmopolitan vision required that the boy destined for the machine shop and the boy destined for the law office sit at the same table and study the same curriculum. This was a controversial stance in an era that prized industrial efficiency. Critics argued that mixing these groups was a waste of resources, preferring the logic of class separation. Whitney viewed the school as a sociological bridge. He believed that by educating these two classes together, he could prevent the rigid social silos that typically defined industrial cities. When the present building opened in 1926, the architecture was designed to give that vision a permanent home. The original tower was retained as the school's primary architectural symbol. The facility was the largest of its kind in Ohio, built to hold 4,000 students across more than 80 classrooms. To maintain the cosmopolitan model, the building housed wood, machine, and auto shops directly alongside traditional academic spaces, ensuring all students shared the same hallways. The school featured a massive library of 2,000 books, providing high-level academic resources to students regardless of whether they were heading to a factory or a university. The dedication of the school's auditorium was significant enough that the Cleveland Orchestra performed there, bringing elite cultural institutions into the heart of a working-class neighborhood. The scale of the building acted as a physical argument that technical labor and academic study hold equal value within the community. Did this attempt to merge two different social classes actually produce results? The school's graduates suggest it did. Collinwood produced national leaders like the late U.S. Representative Stephanie Tubbs Jones. It was also the starting point for George Voinovich, who transitioned from this working-class environment to become U.S. Senator, Ohio Governor, and Cleveland Mayor. The institution also built local influence, producing long-serving advocates like Cleveland City Council member Michael Polensek. Today, the physical presence of the railroaders is coming to an end. The 1926 building is slated for closure as the district consolidates its operations. As the building is phased out, the historical record of Whitney's vision remains. The school's legacy of producing high-level civic leaders from a railroad neighborhood validates his original idea. Collinwood's history proves that public education can produce elite leadership from a working-class population when it refuses to track students by their socioeconomic destiny. That record is a civic statement that remains relevant as the final school year approaches.